All right, let's get into the lightning updates. First and foremost, Filecoin Foundation, the community and data onboarding team, which is myself, Paul Wagner, Jenks, and Yanbo. Here's what we're up to. Again, Juan Bennett made a comment at ETH Denver that I think makes a lot of sense, which is when Filecoin mainnet launched in 2020, there was a focus on supply side. And with that supply side, we hadn't spent enough attention nurturing the demand side. So, our job in the foundation is to balance out what the community needs are, and what the community needs from a macro sense is more demand, and more ways to process said demand in an efficient and effective manner. So our priorities are: how do we support net new client logos? How do we bring AI and Filecoin into reality? And how do we support new community entrants? Focusing on accelerator programs and channel partnerships, recruitment and enablement. This goes for software vendors, storage providers, and even service providers within the ecosystem. We're doing this by facilitating partnerships with ISVs, MSPs, system integrators, and any other VAR or channel partners that want to participate in the ecosystem. We're doing support and go-to-market for client-centric software platforms, sharing end-to-end capabilities, which is inclusive of wholesale contracting with storage providers, supporting integrations and designs, and also any other network collaboration or connection that would help software vendors that are going to be driving user acquisition to be successful upon launch. These are examples of software programs which you'll hear of today. Our Lighthouse, this includes Steel Dome, Banyan, Ghost Drive / Nera AI, CloudForce. There's a lot of exciting software development going on across the ecosystem. We have the MinerX program, which incentivizes storage providers to do testing for ecosystem applications. We're always connecting the community to Web3 infrastructure capital providers to make sure that everyone has the money they need to scale and continue data onboarding operations. And we support proof of concept projects that demonstrate the value of AI and Filecoin for decentralized AI and compute initiatives. This is a really big category, but you look at all the activity in decentralized compute, for example. This is undeniably the first AI and blockchain use case that is reaching critical mass. And I think it's essential for Filecoin to show that we can be a complement to all the action going on within that category. So there's exciting incubation projects going on there that we are pursuing. How we help is optimization, connection, enablement, and conviction. So, we're here to, we do a jack of all trades. We're here to help. We're very empathetic to everyone in this ecosystem who is building and dedicating their time and capital to making this protocol and project work. And we just want to be riding shotgun with you on that journey. In the interest of time, we'll just go like these are some of the short-term things that we're working on, from quick start guides to a whole series of events over the next 4 months. We're incubating about 6 to 10 AI projects within Filecoin. We're supporting CloudForce launch in mid-April. You'll hear from Dante later today. And Nera, which goes live on the 24th, not the 26th, which is imminent. A lot of platform integration works and that are connecting with software vendors and storage providers that are extremely exciting. Paul, anything else that you'd like to add or miss about all the work we're doing at the foundation?
Kill tape, please. I mean, we've been at this a while and seeing a lot of pricing out of some Filecoin storage because tape is still cheap, and it's surprising there are tape investments still going out there, but raising the bar and beating out tape, that's our goal.
How are you going to do that?
Sometimes with prayers, because some people only care about price, and we cannot win on price with tape.
Do we have?
I say that
Sorry.
in that the recent discussions that came out of the last 3 months of some major tape vendors that we were speaking with, we just have no chance. So we've got to raise our bar and product offerings and deliver those to the customer and highlight those to the customer.
So to that end, do we have like sort of a tape task force that's working on this, or do we have an existing tape takeout example that we can speak to an ROI yet? And if not,
Yeah.
maybe we
Yes,
should.
you know what? Send me a message on that. I have some notes that we can reference and probably bring them to the table on that.
Because
And see
yeah,
if
if we
they're-
can get like a battle card that we all use and we all stick to, that would be really helpful at the BD level, I think.
I like that term, battle card.
Mhm.
Also, great questions, Jen. The other thing is, Paul, when you say we can't compete with tape, are you taking the entire tape life cycle?
Just on
into
price. Just on price. And some of these customers are sitting on tape and they're just going from LTO 6 to LTO 9. They don't want to move. So, and there's a lot on tape. There are petabytes of data being moved from old tape to new tape, unfortunately.
And is there,
that's-
and I'm just out of curiosity, is part of the conversation, the bit rot and the tape rot that can happen with tape, and the fact that you have to replace it and you have to keep legacy stuff available in order to, take a tape from 7 years ago. Technology today is very different from 7 years ago, and the drives are different, and the tape libraries are different and everything. Does all of that is all of that a part of the conversation, or is it just like, hey, tape is 12 cents per gig and that's what we're doing?
It's very rare that they're concerned about it if they're able to egress off an old series of tape onto a new series of tape.
Okay. There's cost associated with that, though.
Sure, but if anyone missed it, I did post it. We haven't run through this yet. I think we're going to get close though with somebody is issuing the request to AWS to egress out for free. They are now allowing customers to do it. I don't know how long that'll last. If you don't have the link to the data transfer out request form, it is live on AWS and GCP.
I heard
One off.
I heard that was only cloud to cloud.
Yeah.
I heard
Fine
it's
question.
not cloud to tape.
But it's out, and that's the important part is hopefully we can get somebody to run through it with a customer and confirm that we're in the running on that one.
Well,
Yeah.
but the point is that it's literally cloud to cloud. Like, it's from AWS to Google to Microsoft. It is not from AWS to on-prem or some other third party.
Is that true? I didn't
I don't-
receive that
That's what
information.
we've heard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Love the discussion, but we will
Sorry.
go, please continue this in Slack, offline, create a battle card, create a group. Good stuff. Final comment.
Yeah.
Tape is to gold as Bitcoin is to Filecoin. Hopefully we'll get there. In aggregate, Filecoin Foundation we're incubating 35 plus projects that are net new to the ecosystem, trying to help them get connected, get going. Mara, I'm not seeing your slides here.
I'm on slide 9.
You must
Is that not?
hold on.
I see you in the deck.
I see
And
it. I just had to hit refresh. Coming up.
Oh, sorry. Okay. My bad.
All right, Mara, take it away. Your 2-minute light
Hello.
starts now.
Yes. Okay. So, Phil Store, folks, this is our official last day at Protocol Labs. And Jen and I are putting out a new shingle for everybody, and it's called Phil Store. And the whole idea of Phil Store is that we want Web3 to be tenable to enterprise companies, and enterprise companies to be tenable to Web3. So we're bringing that together, and we essentially have 3 units or 3 properties, if you will, within Phil Store. And all of those are dStore related. So dstore.com, most of you probably have been there, know about it, are familiar with it. It is, essentially the gateway to decentralized storage and the movement and bringing content and news and media and all the things that people can come and learn about decentralized storage and why decentralized storage. Then we tie that in with dStore Network, which is essentially the place where we connect data owners with providers and make that matchmaking happen, and bring paid deals into the network. And then we also support that with dStore Studio. And so as we have our storage provider partners and other providers within the dStore network coming in, they need help with their go-to-market presence. And that is what dStore Studio does. And so if you move forward a slide. Ultimately, what we are looking to do is be, sort of the eBay for data owners and for providers, and bringing them together with lead gen and advertising, sales and revenue opportunities. And that will also include things like L1 support. This is what we are in the midst of building. Next slide. And right now, today, what we can really focus on and where we can help you right now is with marketing and creative services. This is really comes from being headquartered in Web3. And this is an example. We just completely rebuilt Steel Dome. We redid their website, their brand, their identity. We've done executive activation dinners for them, marketing content, lots and lots of stuff. We have some other examples. For example, Seed, we did some logo work for them. Woden, we've done logo work for them. If you have any need at all for any kind of creative services, please feel free to reach out to us. That's the QR code. It can take you in. You can reach out to me directly, or Jen, or Kenton. We're happy to help you. One of the things that I want to make sure everybody understands is that we have kind of a church and state situation going on, where the side that is doing revenue generation and matchmaking for storage providers is separate efforts from what is going on the studio side. So it doesn't seem like there is any kind of favoritism or blending of services or trying to make somebody better than somebody else. We keep those very much as church and state. Happy to take any questions, or Jen, if you have anything else to add.
No, thanks. I think that was really great. I think the other thing being that's coming soon, there'll be more to come for those that we'll be seeing in Hong Kong. We'll be participating in Phil Hong Kong. Hope to see everyone there. And then some exciting launches coming as well with the marketplace.
Big things. Thank you. Julian, over to you, sir.
Yep, thank you. So that's an update on CID Gravity and what we are delivering recently. So we extend CID Gravity to support clients and to onboard data. First, it's mainly a set of APIs that can be consumed by on-ramp to have easy access to the network for storing and retrieving data. So very simple way, you can use CID Gravity to find storage providers, book capacity, and track the data lifecycle that you store on the network. And the point number 4, actually, this is not implemented yet. It's the automatic data cap allocation that would be part of the new Field Plus program. For storage providers, nothing's changing, except that we are going to provide information related to billing. So if you want to do off-chain billing to your clients, you can get how much data is consumed by any individual clients that you have on your miner. So you can like build them accordingly. Yeah, a few figures. So we reached 42 million transactions recently, and we onboard 360 petabytes of QAP. No, that's not what we onboard actually. This is what is live right now on the network. And yep, that's it for me. Yep. And I will be in Hong Kong as well.
See you in Phil Hong Kong. Nandit, welcome to the show.
Hello, hello. Hey everyone. My name is Nandit and my team is building a lighthouse. I guess I've met most of you, but then so glad to join this call and get to know what everyone is building and share what we are doing at Lighthouse as well. Yeah, so at Lighthouse, we are focused on bringing permanent on-chain future to life. And then if you can go to the next slide. Yeah, so the focus is on building perpetual storage, and our big focus is towards like the Web3 client and niche, where we're working with uh, various verticals like NFTs, DeepIn, AI, etc. Like with NFTs, now we're helping NFT storage team to take their permanent storage out there in the market. So I'm super excited about that part. And then like for our priorities wise, again, like the big focus is in next 1 to 2 years, how do we position a Lighthouse as a default go-to layer for Web3 projects to use decentralized storage. And then on the technical architecture wise, we want to go towards a permissionless architecture where not just our team, but then other community members can also run some of our piece of infrastructure, which is like important for, again, like if we want permanent storage for Web3, like it has not to be run by a single team like us, but then it has to be a community-wide effort. So that's like a technical focus going in the next year. And then again, like the biggest priority is like, okay, vertical by vertical, like NFTs, Jeep and AI, we go into these verticals and foster partnerships with the major platforms out there. And strategy wise, now we have a Fill Plus, we are a Fill Plus data allocator as well. So we'll be using that to onboard various clients that can be long-term useful, not just for us, but for the whole Filecoin economy. And then parallelly, get native platform integrations with the leading platforms. And let's say in NFTs, we got NFT storage, and then similarly, who all are the leading platforms and the other Web3 sectors, we need to get them onboarded to Lighthouse to get them use our SDKs, and then all of their users indirectly become our users as well. And then I see like a lot of SPs and various other infrastructure providers in the Filecoin ecosystem that are even present on this call as well. So we would love to, discuss with you as well on how maybe we can redirect some of the data that is coming to us and to you if you're an SP or running some infra. But parallelly, if you have like a big enterprise focus and if there's a Web3 play there as well. So our team has expertise on catering these Web3 clients. So that's like one of my focus to reach out to more uh, providers in the Filecoin ecosystem and then foster partnership there as well to take something out there together in the market. So if you're interested, I would love to talk to you and we can connect in Filecoin Slack as well.
Thank you, Nandit. Mr. Psychobike.
Alrighty then. I guess next slide, right? Okay. So what we've been doing, what we've been working on is, and as we've indicated here with the competitiveness compared to tape and whatnot, we've really gone back and looked at the process of being a storage provider and are maniacally focused on both the cost and the cost structures and the orchestration of what it takes to be a viable SP. And in my experience and in my exposure to the community as a whole, there's about 3 or 4 formidable tasks. One of which is just the sheer complexity of running full stack solutions. Then there's the cost of sealing itself, and then there's the Herculean task of securing enough data deals to make it self-sustainable and not depend on the perpetual motion machine of tokenomics to keep your footprint revenue positive. And so what we've been able to do in really going back and rethinking every operational aspect of this is we want to help people turn their storage infrastructure into passive income by way of the orchestration and consolidating all the complexity. We've reduced the cost of sealing over a magnitude and increased the throughput probably even more. Go ahead and move on to, I see. We've turned this into a business model where we can afford to pay up to $1,000 per PIB to have your storage racks join our orchestration layer. And so there's a decaying curve on here, and everybody who plays the tokenomic game theory is acclimated to that. But we want to save the capacity that's on the network now and focus on monetizing it with real data deals. And so this structure that we have on screen right here, the orange bars are the fiat revenue that Web3 Mine will pay you today to join our franchise of, it's all still Filecoin, still everything is still Filecoin. However, we've fixed a whole bunch of Filecoin. So your storage rack essentially looks like a ZFS head node with up to 14 petabytes of storage attached to it, and is in communication with the orchestration layer, which can render CC sectors at high speed and all the data deals are coming on. What we're want to help you do is transition to the green line. And so we've got sources of third-party data. We have the data prep pipelines, the one-to-end orchestration, end-to-end, and we want to keep you viable today and grow that green revenue line, which benefits the entire network. And we've also got the solutions in place for issues of liquidity without venturing down the dark corridor of leveraged debt or leveraged credit. And so this ultimately is what we want to offer SPs that are struggling or have extra capacity that isn't fully monetized. We've got the orchestration layers to make Filecoin, to turn Filecoin operations into passive income generators, where you're only responsible for cost reducing, you're incentivized to cost reduce your storage infrastructure, and the only thing you have to focus on is keeping it online. We can do everything else for you in a partnership. And if you don't have access to the data sets, we can bring them to you. If you do have access to data sets, that's even better. So we're go ahead and go to the next slide. If we cut down what we're asking of partners that want to participate in this, this is essentially the requirements that define your rack and of storage, and it's pretty minimal. You don't even have to have host your own GPU. When we looked at how GPU is used in the Filecoin network, the duty cycle of any commodity GPU functionality in a siloed miner operation, the duty cycle doesn't fully monetize those GPU resources or much of the compute resources. And that's why we focused on breaking the full stack apart, disaggregating it, and putting it back together again under SDS orchestration best practices. And by way of that, this reduces your requirements to be a storage provider on the Filecoin network to just what you see on screen. And I think that's about it.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Daniel, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Daniel here from the Decentralized Storage Alliance, also known as the DSA. The mission at the DSA is to empower enterprises to leverage decentralized storage, Filecoin, and IPFS in their day-to-day business operations. We really want to bridge that gap between Web 2 and Web 3. And so we launched the DSA about 1.5 years ago at Phil Lisbon with Protocol Labs, Filecoin Foundation, Seagate, EY, and AMD. So as far as priorities go, the DSA is a member-driven organization. So these are really member-driven priorities. We want to develop reference architecture, standard specifications, and certifications. We kicked off the DSA with working on a sealing reference architecture and are currently working on a storage reference architecture that will be released shortly as well. Out of the conversations at ETH Denver, we started working on a compliance standard specification. And so that's going to turn into a new work stream And certifications are something that we're going to look into for the future. We want to provide the ecosystem with access to educational materials, how-to guides, and best practices. So we really want to make it easier for new incumbents to onboard to the network. We want to release new software and hardware technologies. The DSA was actually instrumental in the release of the new sealing software that reduced costs for the network, that actually Web3 Mine and Supranational work together on within the context of DSA working group meetings. We want to form dedicated working groups with both Web 2 and Web 3 industry leaders. We have a technical advisory working group that's more focused on the storage provider side. We also have a customer advisory working group that's more focused on the client-facing side. And we want to continue to roll out new working groups as we see new members want to join. We want to also build brand awareness through advocacy, case studies, events, and campaigns. Case studies are a great way to showcase and champion our members and their technologies. And events, we had one event, the first DSA Summit in Vegas, that had some really good outcomes and new work streams come out of that event. And then we just had another workshop at ETH Denver, where we had some members come together and discuss new work streams and priorities for the coming year.
A lot of exciting momentum. Okay, you got one more slide. Sorry.
I stuck one more in here, Porter. Yeah, so the last one here is just kind of showcasing, we have a number of priorities. How do we achieve some of those priorities? How do we achieve our mission? We want to really start digging into some of the specifics. So we actually kicked off DSA office hours this quarter, where we have a dedicated time where people can come together and actually workshop and work on projects together within the context of a DSA working group. And then we also want to bring in new members over the coming quarter and potentially start a decentralized compute working group, given the nature of decentralized AI and decentralized compute within the decentralized storage space. We think it's a great time to kick that off. And then looking ahead, a more regular newsletter, another DSA summit, DSA certifications. So lots of exciting work coming down the pipeline. And if you want to get involved or you want to learn more, message me directly or visit dsalliance.io.
A lot of great momentum coming out of the DSA. CEO, Bruce.
Hey guys, how are you?
Oh, sorry.
Yep, thank you. So at Seal, as always, we've been super busy in the ecosystem, and our go-forward momentum is going to be predicated on three major strategies. From the product strategy perspective, we're looking to build out that full stack of performant infrastructure coupled with seamless customer experience. And so in Q2 of this year, we are going to be launching our full stack A solution. And we continue to build out our petabyte scale platform. I believe we are the first storage provider to have achieved not just compliance with SOC 2 and HIPAA, but also certification on that. And we're building out SLAs and support systems to support the scale of the operations that we're looking to attract. And also, we're building out something for the SMB market where people are able to upload, manage access to, retrieve, and visualize their journey through the Filecoin system. For go-to-market, we're basically working on a three-tiered approach based on readiness and value prop. First is, in this early adoption phase of the ecosystem, a lot of what, and Porter alluded to this earlier, a lot of the value prop is going to be around cost base, and we're gaining significant traction in research and academia around that. Certainly when we talk about TCO, we are extremely competitive there. And then we're looking for the niche markets, already talking to those markets where cryptographic security and traceability auditability are important. So the security vertical, AI, ML are critical levers that we're pulling on. And then also we are talking to enterprise, which is where, whatever the number is, 90% of usable data resides. Our approach there is channel focused, looking to bring in MSPs who already have relationships with those Web2 enterprises to bring them into the fold. And then finally, we are working with partners. First of all, we're looking for other storage partners who are able to operate at that petabyte scale that we are, but not just in terms of capacity, but also in terms of the whole operational excellence umbrella that is shown by SOC 2 and HIPAA compliance. If you are not quite there yet, we would love to hear about your plans to get there. We might even provide some help to you to help you achieve that. But we do need people at that scale to work with us for the deals that we're looking at. We're looking for partners to code share with. We want to build out cross-functional, high-value platforms that especially Web2 customers will pay for. And finally, partnerships on go-to-market, lead gen, affiliate programs, resellers, etc. That is we are actively working with whoever wants to talk to us to rise the entire tide for all ships.
Thank you, Bruce. I didn't see Hassan on from Global Stake. Is anyone from Global Stake here? All right. With that, we'll move to Dante, Cloud Forest. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, I appreciate it. So Cloud Forest is a peer-to-peer private network and storage solution where they're really focused on onboarding consumers to IPFS and Filecoin. Yeah, at the moment, we're really looking at like optimizing the system. So, getting in front of all of you is like really important to us and sharing kind of what we're doing. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting derivatives of this tech that we're wanting to explore with the ecosystem. We are going to be launching a freemium consumer product here, in the next 60 days or so. There's a lot of other use cases here. I'm going to show you guys a quick demo. So get you an idea of kind of how this works, but
You want to share a screen?
sure, yeah.
Live demo time. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Cool. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Cool. So essentially, what we're doing is spinning up virtual instances for every user, and we're doing that on multiple hosting providers. So we're creating this private IPFS network, again, between multiple providers, spinning up these virtual containers and installing our stack, which includes ThreadDB and buckets from Textile, Go IPFS and libp2p, Lotus, Lightnode, and Boost, and then our front end and whatnot. So it's an easy way to upload your data, store your data, and also share your data with other people. We've got these different, we call them cloud layers. They are essentially buckets on ThreadDB that you can share with other people on the network. And show you guys quickly what uploading files does. So actually, I create a folder here. I can upload a couple of images. Upload them to the meme folder. It's going to create that folder in IPFS and upload those files to that folder. Here they are. I've got another node hosted on a different hosting provider. So this is node B. This is in a different state. I'm on a different browser, and this is actually a different user that's logged in, and created this Filecoin Foundation shared layer, and you can see this user, those files synced over basically via like pub sub. We pulled the CIDs over first through ThreadDB, and then each node is basically told to pin those files, and they're doing a fetch from IPFS and pulling the binaries over. So you get this like peer-to-peer syncing across hosting providers that without like any third-party routing nodes or whatever. This, again, when you look at competition with like tape, for example, a big reason why a lot of these companies use tape is because they have a single cloud provider, and then they've got, they still need a backup for that cloud provider. It's not super easy to have like two cloud providers syncing all your data, but this solution kind of gives you that out of the box, which is nice. So all the data will sync. Also want to show you guys, we've now got messaging over IPFS on this system. Show you that really quick. One sec. Just so you can kind of see here. And I've got a thread that I already created. Let's see if we can see this in real time. Again, these these are nodes that are connected on a private IPFS network. Say hey, and of course it's demo day, so this is not.
Yeah.
Oh, it actually.
Hey, baby.
Sorry, let me just refresh this. Cool. Yeah, and again, it's updating. This is all still really what you're seeing is like really fresh, still in development, but yeah, we've got peer-to-peer chat. You can actually upload files to the chat, and they can save in this in your file system here. Again, you can organize your files into like different projects and whatnot. We think that this tech is really important for a number of reasons. We think, you could imagine a scenario where you've got like a patient with like a heart condition or something with some kind of IoT monitoring device, that's uploading that data not to like some third-party cloud, but to their own virtual instance and in their own database, that then that node has a private peer-to-peer connection with a doctor, and that doctor might be able to run that through some monitoring and discover some anomaly before the patient even knows, and like call a ambulance and potentially save a life just by getting that data over faster. So we think that there's a lot of like amazing use cases. We got streaming on this platform, peer-to-peer syncing of the data, putting users in control of their data, and in control of, the different applications and processes that have access to their data. So again, this is something we're really excited about. If anybody has questions, happy to answer. And definitely, everyone on this call, I know most of you, definitely want to reach out and, try to engage with as many of you as I can here moving forward.
Thank you, Dante. For the discussion part, Clara, kick us off.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had Porter set up this call because I feel like he may have already said this in the beginning, but with a lot of teams emerging right now as Protocol Labs goes through nucleations, and as well as many of you guys who have been major players of the ecosystem in the past, we just wanted a format where you guys have more of a place to sync. I think we all want to solve a number of hard data onboarding challenges on Filecoin together. So Porter and I would both love your feedback on what format might be interesting for us to do once a month call. What are things that are missing in today's call that would be helpful? Do you guys see this more like a brain trust group of people problem solving together? So I would love to open the floor to just hearing ideas and the best way that we can really make sure that you guys have the ability to share updates. I know that also a number of teams are still early stage in what they're building. And so I want this to be a supportive place where people can obviously also brainstorm and problem solve together. So.
With that, any comments, reflections? I think the intention of this call was awareness is the first step. And the more people know what's going on across the ecosystem, the better off we'll be. Mr. Blewett, comments, reflections on what you've heard? Told you I was going to call on you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just incredibly excited, and I'm so impressed with the collection of people that are here. I mean, make a note of these names and faces, because you're going to be hearing a lot more from all of them, and they're all going to be messages of success. I have absolutely no doubt. I think at times it feels you can get lost in the code. At times it feels like it can be a bit of an echo chamber, but we've had East Denver and calls like this. I mean, who isn't excited about this? I think we've got a massive few months ahead of us. And I think the people on this call and the faces on this call are going to be a huge part of that. I'd love to see more meetings like this and get as many people as possible to get to them.
Amen, brother.
And I did want to jump in on a quote I heard this week that was a little bit funny. Daniel, you might find humor in this. I was with Banyan. I went by their New York office, and they said, when we first heard about the DSA, we thought they were trying to be Banyan. And I was like, I think those are the conversation breakdowns where, because it's really, we're all doing our own thing. There's a lot of people moving very quickly, but the time to sync and say, hey, what are you actually working on? Are you early scientists? How can we help each other? It's been really great to see different projects in the ecosystem collaborate and hand off at different phases of client data onboarding. I will start by saying I just got off a really good call with New York Public Library, who was really interested in decentralized storage as a whole. And if folks might be interested in working with them in some way, definitely let me know. But the first step is really getting them to hear from other libraries and like-minded groups around their experience using Filecoin. So those are kind of examples for ways we can think about structuring this group. If you guys have client onboarding challenges that you want to talk through, we can use the space for that. We can pull in new players that are entering the space for them to present and share more. But ultimately, the goal is for us to all help each other, because this is not a place where we can do things standalone. There's so much work ahead to make everything else happen. So,
awesome. Mr. Berman, you're the godfather of this group. What stood out to you today?
Well, it's interesting to hear a kind of a roundup and a recap of some of the active projects. So that's good. I think there's still more definition and clarity that's needed, right, to help us kind of find our way among all the different service providers and different groups, not just within PL. I mean, I think that's still a little bit of a mystery, but also in general, right? You know, third parties that are going out. Loved to hear Jen and Mara speak about their new venture. So, I mean, that's really, really good to kind of have that level of overview and then ways to contact and how we can, reach out to these folks and find a appropriate fit. Also love the work that DSA is doing, trying to get kind of coordination around, the client interest. I think that's the part that really has been highlighted. I think, Porter, you highlighted that as well, right? How do we connect to actual demand? What are customers really interested in, rather than just all of us working with each other, which doesn't actually connect necessarily to the customer.
100%. He doesn't know I'm doing this, but Matt Hamilton, good to see you on a call like this. I know you don't participate on these a lot, but what stood out to you? He wasn't expecting this at all. It's okay, Matt, if you don't want to talk. All right, maybe he's unavailable. He's driving in a car. Other comments, reflections on what was presented today?
I have one thing to say. I mean, usually this comes up and sometimes we take too long as an ecosystem from software to conferences, but people want to know how much it costs. And I've seen this happen a few times where we get to the third call and we still don't have a price. So if you haven't priced your product, price it. People want to know. I mean, it really does matter because we look a little bit disorganized when we don't have that SKU ready.
Yep. And I would just absolutely 100% back you up on that, Paul. And the other thing is that if you're not sure how to price it, we can help you. Give D-Store a call. That is part of the studio services that we can help you with, is some product management around what are your costs, what's the market willing to tolerate, and we can help you come up with the right pricing for your specific product. And then secondly is how you talk about it in the marketplace. Both of those super duper important when we start bringing in data owners who have taken that step to say, okay, yes, decentralized storage, I'm with you. Now what? We have to be ready on the supply side, right? We'll be bringing in the demand side, and we're here to help you on the supply side as well.
Nathan, observations from you.
Hey, yeah, we're up here in Michigan, getting a nice snowstorm coming in. We had 70-degree weather yesterday. So anyways, yeah, let's see. It was great to actually hear so much from everybody what they've been doing. I think pretty much at some point or another I've talked or worked with everybody that spoke at some point today. Some of them I haven't been able to kind of keep up with as much. So it was really awesome to see some of the great things that have been kind of moving, kind of coming into play, because text and things like that are one thing, but just kind of connecting like this, it just kind of takes it to a next level. So I really appreciate it. I think it's great. And I am looking forward to, working more on collaborating and seeing these things, further build.
Before I move to Mr. Psychobike's question, any other comments, feedback, reflections on the presentations today? Hold on.